So.
I don't know what it is.
Because we've never not done it. I'm teasing. Alright, so, Call of Cthulhu. September 18th, 2016. This is the rise of the sleeper. Bum, bum, bum. You want to play Nurse Daughter?
No, Did
I give you Nurse Daughter?
Oh, she's on.
I gave you both of them because I don't. You have two players. You have two characters that you could bring either one into play. So we'll figure it out. Most likely you'll be playing Suzanna.
Yeah.
The next scenario that I've got actually might interest Nurse Dalton more. So, but if you want to keep going with Suzanna, that's always your choice. So I'm just.
But I'm still in Georgia.
Right now you're in Georgia, so we're gonna have to figure out as a group how to get you involved.
Let's just say I gave them my number. If you need any help.
You probably wouldn't have a number, but you tell them where you live because nobody has phone numbers in this. You call and you ask for a person. He goes to a switchboard almost all the time.
Then I give them
Big
whatever
cities,
information with
right, you can do that. Big cities tend to have, sometimes they'll have extensions that you can put in, but almost nobody has dial phones yet. Yeah, and we'll be talking about where you live in a minute, but let's start with Collin. Collin. Okay, so you guys got back in June, late June, early July of 1927. 3 months have gone by. It's early October. Some bad things have happened to your guy.
Oh, great.
There was vandalism at your shop. Do you own the shop or do you work there?
Just work there.
You work there. So there was some vandalism. They broke into the office. They went through all the personal files of everybody,
That's creepy.
especially yours. One night.
Here's what's ripped to shreds.
It was just pulled out, and all your file stuff was just scattered everywhere. You know what I mean? Just like your resume that you handed in, which is probably on a greasy piece of paper, some like background information on your address and your phone number and all that stuff. That happened a couple months after you went to North Carolina. And the shop was vandalized too, especially your part of the shop where you keep your own personal tools. They were scattered around. A couple of things were broken and others were stolen. It was very strange. And your boss was like, "Somebody got something in for you there, Nigel?"
I guess so.
He seemed very distressed about the whole situation. Ashton. Miss Fairfield has been having harder times getting work, getting assignments for some reason. Your editor seems reticent to give you work. You've been having some trouble making ends meet money-wise a little bit. Oh, and Collin, anything else that has gone wrong? If you want to add some weird little things that have gone wrong on your own, think about that. You can. Also, Ashton, one night your room, you came home to find your room door was ajar. And it looked like everything looked fine. Like maybe you forgot to close the door, or maybe the latch didn't catch when you left. Usually you don't even probably lock your door, but you can if you have wanted to. Did you usually lock you're in a boarding house, so you could lock your door or not. That's your choice. Okay, so usually you left it. You usually close it though, just because of privacy and all that issue. Everything looked fine, but you noticed it looked like your address book had been rifled through. You know what I mean? It was in the wrong place where you usually keep it. There were a couple little pieces of paper that are usually like tucked in there. You know how you put like addresses that you got but you haven't put in the book yet? One of those was on the floor. It looked like somebody had been in the room and had gone mainly through your address book. And then when you start looking around more carefully, it looks like everything in the room might have been like looked at.
What a terrible stalker. You should at least put things where you found them.
It looks like they tried. It's only after you notice the address book that you're like, wait a minute. And you start looking more carefully and you're like, you notice that clothes have been moved around a little bit. You don't remember leaving them that way. You notice just little things in the room. Just everything looks a little awry, and it's kind of disturbing.
Happened to me.
Miss Edington, you live at home with Daddy, right?
Yep.
At a big old plantation somewhere outside of Atlanta. Is that where she lives?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay, no, it can be any place in Georgia that you want. You can be down in
I
Macon.
didn't really think about it, so she's in Georgia in general.
Okay, tell you what, let's look it up. You live in a boarding house. What? You have an apartment or a house, Collin?
The shop actually has like a small room in the back that they let me stay in.
Oh, nice. Okay. Yeah, you didn't hear anything that night when all this crap went down either, which was kind of weird too. It was either happened very quietly or you were sleeping unusually deeply. There's apple ones in there too.
Okay. Good girl.
No. atlases. So they apparently put the states in by when they were entered into the Union instead of just alphabetical order, like anyone with a brain.
That's weird. Yeah.
Yeah, it's very strange. How are these? I haven't tried these yet.
I like them.
Okay, so. Whoa,
Oh my god.
I'm a wuss.
Great.
Georgia, where do you want to be from?
Oh, dang, that's a lot of choices here. Hold up, we got a lot of counties.
It's a whole state.
It's a whole state.
I know it is.
There's Atlanta. There's Atlanta up here. Here's Waycross. Waycross looks pretty. Ashburn, Cordele.
Let's just go with Atlanta,
Okay, so there's a plantation somewhere outside of Atlanta.
I guess.
Oh my god.
You suck. Here, I know.
Hmm.
Do we leave this or do you want to close it now?
I can close it and just.
Atlanta, sure.
Whew.
Somewhere in the country.
It doesn't say any character sheet. Just Georgia.
Just Georgia somewhere. That's literally put somewhere.
Okay, so it's outside Atlanta
Georgia.
somewhere. We can
Yeah.
leave it vague. There have been people. I mean, you're in the middle of nowhere, and aside from the servants and the hired help,
Yeah,
i.e., practically slaves or indentured servants or
probably.
wage
A lot of
slaves.
Irish.
Probably a lot of black people.
Too. Yeah.
Lots of
You don't see many strangers around. I mean, it's a big plantation. What kind of plantation? Cotton, tobacco, mostly tobacco.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe a little bit.
So it's mostly it's dark chocolate. So mostly tobacco. There have been some reports around the house of people like on the property, but at a distance.
Okay.
Usually at night. Sometimes there's probably some woods in the area. I mean, it's not just like
If there was,
Tobacco
Daddy had been
fields.
after them with his gun.
exactly. He usually sent some of the boys.
Yeah.
Aren't your brothers still living at home, or are they all married off?
I think they're all, I'm the youngest.
Right, you're the
so-
youngest, and you have like 5 brothers, don't
And
you?
I'm 27, so they're probably off.
They're all probably married off.
Yeah.
Okay. So he sent people off with guns, or he went off himself. But that's never happened before. It's just been very strange. There's been people around, and one night, some of the black workers who actually live like in a little shanty town on the property. You know what I mean? It's not a real town or anything, but it's like they have quarters on the property.
Yeah.
Old slave quarters is what they are. Said they saw some lights out in the woods that seemed to be up in the treetops or something one night. Seemed to be very weirded out by the whole situation.
I believe them.
That's fine. They just see
I
it.
believe them.
They don't tell your daddy.
I'm pretty sure.
Did we ever get a name for your daddy?
I feel like we did. Oh crap.
Is it on the
Yeah,
character
why
sheet? I don't know if we've actually given a name or not.
Nope.
Henry,
I
Beauregard,
think I said Henry. Yeah.
Henry.
That sounds right.
Jot it down on there.
Yeah, you're right.
So we know.
Beauregard.
He probably has several names. And anyway, so they say they saw these lights. Your daddy kind of responded to the whole situation by buying several more dogs. You already probably have a lot of dogs on there. Buying several more dogs and starting to have a couple of men kind of walk around the property in the early evenings to kind of keep an eye on things. But it's been a little unnerving. Like I said, nothing like that's ever happened to you guys before.
All right.
He thinks it's Yankees or revenuers or government men. He hates the government, by the way.
No, probably.
That kind of thing. But you hear about it.
I'm probably not allowed outside.
No, you're allowed outside.
Like,
You're not allowed outside on your own at night. And he prefers you not to go escorted even into Atlanta. You know, not to take at least Virgil with you to kind of keep an eye on you because you're his little baby doll and he's got to keep. You know, he's very overprotective of you. Is your mom still alive?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Is she a powerful woman or is she more of just submissive Southern lady?
Probably the latter.
The latter. Okay, so she sits around the house and knits or sews little things to hang on the walls and stuff, and
Whatever she does.
yeah. Katelyn later finds that her mom's secret life is that of an assassin.
I'd be like, dude, that's cool. Be like,
Anyway,
I love
so
you.
mom's a little scared about this whole situation, but
Yeah.
Dad's gonna take care of it.
Probably.
Dad always takes care of it. Take care of my family. And then he goes back to his liquor.
She goes for a wine.
Well, you guys are rich, so yeah, she probably drinks a little wine, has a little sherry. A lot sometimes.
A little
It
sherry.
depends on the a little
Little
sherry.
sherry.
Okay. So,
Maybe you approach the volunteer, you know?
so anyway, that's what's going on in you guys' lives. Is there anything else that you wanted to do with your characters over several months? It takes 6 months to learn a new skill by yourself. I did look that up. So if you want to start learning a new skill, you can mark down the date around when you started, and then we can do a skill check once the next date comes by. And the earliest that you guys would be able to start like self-teaching yourself or going and taking a class or something would be around, we said July 1st is what, a date where you could have started to work towards improving a skill.
I mean, it's not really relevant for this scenario.
It's not really relevant,
Yeah.
but you might want to note it on your character sheet. If there's something you do want to see go up,
Sure.
just jot a note on the back of your character sheet or in the margin, say July 1st, shotgun or whatever. You know what I mean? And then that means for the next 6 months you'll be, when you have time, practicing with everything, or geography or whatever.
I was thinking like psychology.
Psychology, yeah, then jot it down.
Like, yeah,
It's
two
just something
subjects.
I'm gonna read on stuff, right? And it's just a way you can self-teach yourself. You can slowly.
Sticky note?
I don't. Not handy. You want a piece of scrap paper?
Sure.
Keep with your character.
Just because I don't have like a lot of room.
I need to buy some more sticky notes.
Yes, you do. Sticky notes.
Where
I
do
know,
you
I
jot
do,
that?
Just in the margin somewhere, because it's gonna get erased once. Just put July 1st, and then just put a skill, and then that way we can you can have a chance of increasing some certain skills. I would recommend picking something you don't know very well, or maybe something that in another scenario could have come in handy, but you really had no knowledge of it.
Pretty much.
Say what?
Said pretty much.
Mm.
Now he's gonna start looking at
First aid. Okay, yeah, that's right.
Since
Because
a lot of
Rockefeller
people
got hurt.
A lot of people got messed up last time.
Yeah, freaking
Wasn't
Felix
really
got
anything.
killed, and
Oh,
he's
that made
still
me
out
so
there.
upset. Even though I yelled, or not yelled, I fussed. It still made me sad.
Well, you were lucky Virgil lived.
Yeah, really.
He took a lot less damage than Felix, though. Felix took
Oh, look.
a ton
He
of
took all the
damage.
damage.
So anyway, so that's where we're standing. Around October 3rd is a Monday. You have the day off work, actually. Your hours have been cut back a little bit because,
Business has been slow.
business has really slowed off in the last couple months. A lot, like unusually so. Your boss is trying to look into why. He seems to be real grouchy with you, too. When your little shanty hut or whatever it is that's attached to the back of the mechanic's shop, there's a tap, 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 tap on the door. You are here. We have flavor text. The date is Monday, October 3rd, 1927. The autumn sun has long since set. As Nigel Bricker prepares for a relaxing evening with a good book, or perhaps even a favorite radio drama. Which is it? You have a little radio in your room?
Yeah, sure, got a radio.
You got a little radio drama you get to like listen to. When a knock at the door announces an unexpected visitor. You probably have a one-room. It's just one room probably back there, and then there's probably a bathroom, a very small bathroom, maybe with like a tiny shower tucked into it, and a sink and a toilet. It's nice and cozy in the winter. It's horrifically hot in the summer. So, but right now it's October, so it's cooled off considerably in Providence. Knock, knock, knock.
Turn the radio.
Okay.
Boy, who is it?
I'm looking for Mr. Bricker. It sounds like an elderly man's voice, a little bit older.
Who might you be?
I'm Ezekiel Rosenwald, sir.
Never heard of you.
No, I'm a lawyer from Boston.
Lawyer from Boston.
Yes, sir. Are you Mr. Bricker? Now you talking through the door.
Yeah.
Okay. There's probably a transom over the door that's open to let some cool air in.
There's been some weird stuff going on a little on there.
That's fine. I'm assuming your windows all have the curtains pulled and everything at night. It is after it's in the evening.
You said you were from Boston.
I'm from Boston. Yes, sir. I have word. Are you Mr. Bricker?
Yeah.
Well, could you open the door?
Yeah, sure.
Now your mechanics are your shop is probably in a relatively well traveled part of the city.
Yeah.
I haven't figured out where it is yet, but I will by next game session. So it's not like something, if gunshots are fired, people are gonna know
Yeah,
really
it's
quickly.
not something
Okay, it's not like
that
out
happens.
in the middle of nowhere or anything like that. Okay, I just want to make sure you know.
Yeah, I'll open it.
Okay, there's a gentleman standing there. He's wearing little pince-nez glasses. He has a pencil-thin mustache. He's older. He
Attractive.
is an elderly gentleman, nattily attired in gray suit and black fedora. The solemn silver-haired personage is. He once again introduces himself as Ezekiel Rosenwald. and then states in quite a businesslike manner that he is looking for Nigel Bricker. Are you Mr. Bricker?
Yes, I am.
Oh, well, may I come in? I've got some, well, it's bad news, but it's also good news.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. I didn't even sound old. Thank you so much. He comes in, he closes the door behind him. He kind of glances over your little room. He says, I've been searching for you for the past 3 years. The last that we heard was that you were in London, and I had to go there. I didn't like it very much. It's very, very dirty. You see, you've inherited a parcel of property in Florida.
I don't know anybody in Florida.
No, well, I oversaw the estate of your cousin, Brandon Young, and since the time of his death 3 years ago, he's the last of the Young family, and he apparently decided he would pass his earthly wealth to a distant cousin whom he knew was living somewhere in England. I have looked quite a bit in England for you. He pulls out a packet. It's a little brown manila folder, and he hands it over to you. He says, "This is the will in question, a copy of it. We also have this is the original. We have the copy at the office in Boston. See, Brandon was from Boston, you see. Now, you remember Brandon vaguely. You knew of him as a child. You never met him. He was from the Boston area. You guys were like pen pals for like 2 weeks or something before you both got bored and stopped writing letters back and forth. He's a distant cousin of yours. But you remember he seemed like he seemed like a nice kid, but you really never got to know him.
So, do you know why he left all of his possessions to someone he barely met?
Well, he was the last of his line. He didn't have any heirs. He didn't have anyone to leave anything to. And he was your cousin, wasn't he, Mr. Bricker?
Yes, he was.
That's what he wrote in his. That's what he wrote in his will. It's all there. It's a piece of property in a town called New Dunwich. It rests several miles from the Florida's west coast in the heart of the Everglades. It's a house and quite a few acres. And between you and me, you never know what kind of treasures you can find in those places.
Hint.
Yeah. He can actually kind of, if you have an atlas or something, he can kind of point out where New Dunwich is. He says the nearest town that the trains go to is Everglades, Florida, and there's a small town that's close to it called Ochope. That would probably be a place where you could probably get some transportation on to New Dunwich. In any case, you own the property. You will. I would advise you. I can act as your lawyer for a few minutes, and he thought that was very clever.
Oh my God! Stop.
Without even charging you, and tell you that even if you're not interested in owning the property, it would probably be good to examine it before you try to sell it. It could be worth quite a pretty penny. It is several acres, and apparently the house is quite vast. Oh, my card. In case you need to contact me about anything, please do not hesitate to call. We do have a telephone. Does Nigel Bricker have a telephone in this little crap room of his?
Definitely not.
Okay. So there's probably a payphone in the
shop. Yeah.
in the shop, and you're probably allowed to make local calls in the office, in your boss's office, and that kind of thing. He says apparently Brandon inherited the property in 1908, but it wasn't until 1924 that he went down there to look at it, about 3 years ago. And then he died a few weeks after moving into the house.
Wait, died after he moved into the house?
Yes, yes. Unfortunately, yes. He went down and he claimed the property, died a few weeks later, and it's quite a shame. And that was in 1924. And we've been looking for you ever since, in whatever time I could make.
Do you know what he died of?
I do not. I believe it might have been a suicide.
That sucks.
And if you need anything else, you can contact me there. I'll be in Providence for the next day or two before heading back up to Boston. Boston and Providence are not terribly far apart.
Providence.
You can Providence, yeah.
Providence.
That's the newest town you're gonna run into. Providence. What does it mean? Shh. Okay. Anyway, is there anything else that you need to know or that I can help you with?
No, I'll give this a look over and contact you if need be.
Very good. Well, it was very nice to meet you, Mr. Bricker, and good luck. And well, as I said, I'd advise you to check out the property. You will have to pay taxes on it, don't forget. And with that, he goes.
You have 3 years of bad mother system.
Oh,
Actually,
what the hell is that?
well, you're not there, but he leaves unless you have any other questions. Okay.
Yeah, I guess we have a look.
Okay. You have law.
That's a thing.
Ace.
What?
Make a law check.
Oh my god.
Yeah. If you're a lawyer, you get law. And he'd be like, yeah, I get all this lawyeries. Yeah.
No.
Nope. Okay. Basically, you can get the gist of it, which basically says, yeah, you've inherited that Brandon left you all his worldly possessions, and from then there's a deed to the property, which is apparently amongst the worldly possessions. New Dunwich, Florida, wherever the hell that is. There you go.
Right there.
Huh?
Pass on through. Hey
To
guys.
Georgia. Yeah, we have to figure out how they connect with you. You guys were both given, you stayed another week or so at Brown Mountain probably, or at least a few more days until Rockefeller left. You could have stayed as long as you wanted. So if you guys stayed a few days after the whole incident, I don't know if you guys would have wanted to or not, but if you could have, and sometime during that, Suzanna said, here's where I live, here's how to contact me, blah, 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 if you ever want to. Probably never expecting to hear from these people again, but being polite. 7. What do you want to do, Nigel? It's probably about 6 or 7. It's probably about 6:30 at night.
Guess I'm gonna stay the role for a while, but I guess just kind of call it a night.
Okay. So, October 4th, the next day. What you doing? You're the hook. Deal with it.
Guess I'm gonna try to find people to go down with me.
Okay, you gonna go down?
So,
Okay. You can get time off work without any trouble. Who are you gonna contact?
I'm trying Rockefeller first.
Okay. There's no answer at Rockefeller's house. The phone just rings and rings and rings. Dun dun dun.
Shit.
I haven't seen anything in the paper like Rockefeller House burns to the ground or anything like that. So that's
Yeah,
a good
that would have
sign.
been a big deal.
Okay, what else? Who else are you gonna try to contact? What else are you gonna try to do?
Who else went with us for that?
Okay,
Excursion down
excursion down there was Miss Fairfield. You met Miss Edington down there. You had Miss Green, the alienist. Miss Hernandez, the ex-boxer. Who else played in that game?
She don't seem to lose streaks though.
Yeah.
Yeah, she
That
seemed
was-
kind
that
of
was
like
it.
suicidal.
I just had a lot of NPCs.
Rockefeller,
She's
Fairfield,
in a
Darla
bad
Green,
place,
Nigel
actually.
Bricker, Suzanna Edington. You're right, that was all there was. It felt like there was a lot of people in that group.
There was a lot of
There's a
NPCs.
couple of NPCs.
There was like
there was
3.
2 NPCs and then there was Jebediah.
Yeah.
Jebediah.
Except you're heading that way.
Oh, by the way, Rockefeller couldn't make the charges stick on Jebediah. It was essentially a he said, she said thing. Tommy Bailey wouldn't corroborate. He's mentally retarded anyway.
Yeah.
But you guys were called down to North Carolina to testify a couple times, so it was a pain in the ass.
I thought I wasn't. I thought
No,
it
no,
was-
you're
I
right.
was-
Who was? No.
It was
Never
Miss
mind.
Green.
Never mind. It was Miss Green and Miss Hernandez that
Yeah.
he said, and Felix, who he had to rescind later because Felix is in a new body.
Yeah.
And I still don't know how Rockefeller's going to handle that.
Yes,
So,
sir.
never mind. You guys didn't have to deal with that at all. Boom.
Well, I did just inherit a house down in Florida. Maybe I can find somebody at the newspaper that would write the story and take some pictures with it.
Okay, you know Miss Fairfield. She allegedly works for the newspaper. She's probably just a secretary or something who has a hobby of taking photographs. You've never seen her name in the paper, so she works. Remember, you're under
What?
that pseudonym.
Yeah, no, I know, but my story is that I'm a secretary for the paper.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, she's just a secretary for the paper, but maybe she can hook you up.
Yeah, I'll call her up.
Ring, ring. Calling her home. Trying to get her at the
I
office.
guess the office. would
Okay.
probably be the
Yeah.
best place.
Ring, ring.
I live at a boarding house, so you would.
He's calling you at the office.
Yeah. Okay.
Yo, Fairfield.
What?
It's one of the other reporters.
Yes, sir.
No. He's not that important, actually.
Oh.
He's like a
What?
middle-level, like,
What is he?
reporter
Even though,
guy.
yeah,
You can still say yes, sir, but
Shit, Rick, what?
So it's not like he's your boss or anything.
Oh,
It's just one of the other reporters. He comes and goes, "You got a phone call."
Okay, thanks.
He points you to one of the desks that one of the like
Okay.
part-timers uses, or it's basically the desk for all the part-time reporters. They all share it. There you go. Take.
Hello, Mr. Fairfield.
Oh, Miss Fairfield, this is Brecca from you know.
Oh
the
yeah,
last-
yeah.
Yeah. I've just inherited a piece of property down in Florida, and I need someone to come document it, or at least maybe you could put me up with somebody at the newspaper to come.
Well, it wouldn't be the first time I took pictures of houses, so. Sounds like another vacation.
Yeah.
Is Rockefeller coming?
Yeah, funny enough, I couldn't reach him. The phone just kept ringing. You happen to see him in the past 3 months?
You probably stuck
No,
me on.
You have the same
Call
social
of
circles.
Cthulhu.
Yeah.
Mr. Rockefeller. That's why he doesn't answer anymore.
Well, and yeah, no, was there anything like in the news about him?
No, there's not been any nothing's been in the newspaper about Rockefeller of any interest. A couple stupid social events and crap that he
Yeah.
attended, but that's about it.
Oh, nothing then.
Nope, haven't heard anything.
You know of anybody else that might come down and help us out with this? I've never been to those Everglades. Even know what that is?
Oh, who was that little Southern belle who lived in the South? Didn't she live in Florida or South Carolina or something?
Yeah, that sounds right.
Totally.
Who's that?
Jesus.
I hear her now.
No, stay character.
I didn't do anything.
Yeah, we can look her up. Do you remember?
Oh yeah, I'm sure it's in my notebook somewhere.
Yeah, if you could try to reach her, and we'll
Yeah, it's in there.
Okay. Yeah, I got it right here.
meet up and head down there, and I guess meet her on the way down.
Sounds good. Time, place, date,
Yeah, well,
all that.
Yeah, when do you want to go? It's Tuesday now, October 4th. You can, I mean, it's up to you guys when you go. It's not like, oh my god, we have to go now. When do you want to set up to go? Just give me a date to leave. It'll probably take a couple days to get down there by train.
You said today's the 4th.
Today's the 4th. Tuesday the 4th of October.
Probably leave out on the 6th and then just
Okay.
travel.
October 6th, 1927. Let's find out what date that is. So you'll be heading down there on a Thursday, yeah, duh. Shouldn't have figured that out. Stupid. Does anybody do, okay. So you're gonna call Miss Edington?